Alright guys, this video is going to be a little different. We're going to talk about furry porn. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not interested in that stuff. Now that I have your attention, we can have a discussion about my political opinion on the current state of the worst Slayer in Skyblock. It's quite literally dog. Skyblock has 6 Slayers right now with the potential 7th one coming around soon. Wait, 6? 7? I can make an entire video about my opinions on each and every Slayer, but there's a very specific one that I have some complaints about. If you couldn't guess which one it is by now, you might be chopped. But don't worry, I'll give you a hint. It's related to the reference at the start of the video. It's wolves. Because you know, wolves, furries, furry porn. Yo, I'm actually cooked, bro. I'm balding, and it's not even caused by a player. I'm about to rant about an NPC that was hard-coded into a block game. So are you a furry? Or a clanker? Back in my day when I was a young boy and the game first came out, it was just zombie, spider, and wolf slayer. And during those days, wolf slayers were genuinely hard. I remember dying many times and I had to use mastiff with a pooch sword because my damage did jack shit to a boss with 2 million health. The gear that we had back in the day was so dog compared to what we have now. But after spending 4 billion coins on talismans last week, I can now one-shot the tier 4s. I made a video recently also about spending 4 billion coins on talismans, so you should also check that out. Anyways, people used to do Wolf Slayer, but fast forward a couple years into the big 2026, no one does Sven anymore. The only valid reason of doing the Slayer boss is to be able to use an overflux. Going for Wolf 9 in today's economy is just not viable. It's like burning through stimulus checks on OnlyFans subscriptions. You know what you should be doing with your stimulus checks? Subscribing to my OnlyFans. Alright. So me personally, I've already finished Zombie and Spider Slayer, meaning I have 3 left. I say I have 3 left and not 4 because Vampire Slayer is not a real Slayer. We recently had a 3 perk Aatrox as Mayor, and after maybe a few hours of Blaze and E-Man Slayer, I decided to touch some wolves because I can now one-shot the bosses. However, after 30 minutes, I got kind of bored. It was unbelievably easy, but also kind of slow. I could definitely be doing more productive things with my time. To be honest, I had no clue where to find these bosses. I only knew about this small ass cave in the park, but it was way too small. So instead, I did bosses in the hub. Only recently did I find out where the bigger caves were in the park. My dumb ass just didn't explore enough. Even in the larger caves, I don't think I could do that many bosses for Wolf 9. Assuming no Aatrox perk, each tier 4 gives 500 XP, Wolf 9 takes 1 million XP. I'm no mathematician, but that's more than 500 bosses. And for those of you who cared about the math, it's 2,000 bosses. Assuming it takes you about 30 seconds to spawn and kill a tier 4, it would take you 16.67 hours of killing Svens non-stop. Yes, it would take you longer for E-Man or Blaze 9, but you would also make a billion or two doing it. I hate to be that guy, but let's say your luck was just horrible, so bad that you should never touch a lottery ticket in your life. The drop chance for an overflux capacitor is 0.04%, or 1 in 2,465 kills. Even if you get to Wolf 9, there's genuinely a chance that you don't drop a single overflux capacitor. That's pretty fucked up. And also, the prices for an overflux capacitor is only 45 million coins. That's almost nothing in today's economy. You're more likely to drop a Judgment Core and gain 140 million coins going for E-Man 9. It is seriously time we get an update on this Slayer. Let me ask a professional about his professional opinion on the release of a new tier 5 Sven.
Yo, Spook, can I have a babies?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Look, I have a question for you.
There's 2 outside. There's 2 outside, so done.
What do you think about a tier 5 Sven Slayer?
Oh, I thought about this for every fucking day of my life.
Yeah, you like Sven?
Like, before I even played Skyblock, bro, I'm like, I need tier 5 Sven.
By any chance, are you into furry porn? Think about it. Just imagine the endless possibilities you could have with Sven tier 5. You can take the current tier 4 boss and make it stronger and give it cool abilities and make it drop some cool things and some other stuff. The potential this Slayer has is insane. Not really. In all seriousness, it would be awesome if we could get a new boss that has a lot more HP, much stronger, and has some cool new drops into its loot pool. One thing us players can't get enough of is talismans. Rather than dropping a talisman, it could drop components for crafting a talisman. You could make it expensive. In fact, there could be a talisman drop and a component for crafting a different talisman. It would motivate players to actually do the boss. I'm sure Hypixel could cook up something devious to make it a little challenging and worth doing. But of course, let's not forget to make sure it gives more XP. That way I don't need to do 2,000 bosses. I think 1,000 bosses is a fair number, especially for the employed like myself. On a side note, the community of Hypixel Skyblock players is a really interesting melting pot of different cultures and personalities. Half the dudes on here are either femboys, Discord mods, and there's definitely a ton of furries somewhere in the mix too. You guys just need to generate more hype for the Wolf Slayer. Start a revolution or something. We already have Marina R34. I'm not saying we should produce some Sven R34, but I'm just saying, you know, like, I'm just some dumbass spewing ideas, but it might be super popular for a certain demographic of Skyblock players. And for you PETA members who play Skyblock, I'm going to make it very clear, I love animals, alright? If I could, I would become a cat girl. But wolves, for the purpose of me reaching Wolf 9, they gotta go. It's for the greater good. So now we get back to my point. I think Hypixel should do something with Wolf Slayer, because it doesn't serve much purpose at the moment other than to be able to use an overflux. Now, does Hypixel give a cow's fart about my opinion? Fuck no. But if we all touch tips and band together to form our own political party, would Hypixel finally give in and care about what we, the people, have to say? Fuck no. In conclusion, I believe we should have stronger wolves that give more XP, and add a furry final boss that drops some cool stuff. Remember to like and subscribe. We are so close to 2,000 subs. Alright, time for me to go goon.